Greetings, everybody. Mike Wilkerson here for the True Blood Transfusion, the video fan feedback effort featuring you. Tonight I'm with
David Creed, host of the Fangbanger podcast.
And we just got done reviewing tonight's episode, episode 5 of season 5, Rockin' Roll'em Boots Knockin'... What is it called?
Let's Boot and Rally.
Let's Boot and Rally. That was a really great episode. That was a smooth roller coaster featuring a whole bunch of jerk and stops at no particular point.
There were, if you listen to the podcast, which is either directly above us or directly below us, you'll find out exactly what Mike and I thought put the brakes on in this episode.
Yeah, and more importantly, we're wondering what you thought of this most recent episode, episode 5 of season 5 of True Blood. David, let's get straight to news input for True Blood. While rifling through the different things in regard to True Blood today, I found HBO's True Blood's use of thugs and Obama masks is an utter coincidence.
Fair enough.
This, of course, is referring to something that maybe you guys don't know about. But several weeks ago, it was noted that the
Game of Thrones
featured a decapitated George Bush head.
Right. In a wig.
wig.
From the side.
On a pike.
Right. In the background.
In the background. And, of course, it wasn't because it was any political assuasion or anything. It's just that that was the only decapitated head that they had lying around the studio.
Fair enough. I buy it.
Okay, I guess that's the only head lying around, so I guess we'll use it. In this case, what we're talking about is that there's a truckload of goons, and if all of you are watching True Blood, you'll know this. There's a truckload of goons that are running around Bonton, the town inside of True Blood, gunning down vampires and shifters and whatever else is moving, apparently. And all of them are wearing, not too different than the wonderful Patrick Swayze movie.
Right.
What was the name of that movie? With
Point Break.
Point Break. Just like that, except, of course, that all of the masks are Barack Obama with a big giant grin on his face as they gun down unsuspecting people. So as you can imagine, there's a giant fervor and uproar about it on the intertubes and interwebs today. And you can read more about it by going over to our Facebook presence, which is facebook.com/Fangbanger Podcast. And make sure you tell us what you think of that. Is it just, accidental, total off the cuff? No idea what's going on, or is there a plan?
This is a secret plot.
A secret plot to assassinate Obama's chances by putting masks on the people firing at supernatural beings. Yes. What a great plan. That's a great plan.
Indeed.
Anyway, let us know what you think over at the Fangbanger Podcast website at fangbangerpodcast.com fangbangerpodcast.com. Click on the contact button on the top right-hand side of the page. Fill out the quick web form and let us know what you think. Was it a total conspiracy master plan, or did they just pick the mask because it was cheap? I'm voting for the latter.
Yeah, probably so.
Probably. Our first fan feedback comes from Paris from Mobile, Alabama. Paris writes, I have to start by saying that when I heard you guys were doing a Spider-Man movie retrospective, I nearly jumped out of my seat.
Excellent.
That's great. Remember that, I don't know, maybe you don't remember. Who was your favorite and first superhero? Do you remember who your favorite?
Yeah, absolutely. It was Spider-Man.
It was Spider-Man.
It was Spider-Man, yeah.
Well, that's good because we just finished out a whole bunch of perspective reviews featuring Spider-Man. The first Sam Raimi perspective review of Spider-Man from 2002. The third one, actually, we did, that was right after the movie came out with co-host Ryan Parker from Old School, Two Guys Talking. And then we've got plans to do, of course, the second one inside of the Raimi feature set in perspective review, but also The Amazing Spider-Man, which just came out this last weekend during the July 4th week. And we're wondering what you guys thought of that movie so that we can use your feedback inside of that perspective review, where we talk not only about the movie and the hype that the movie experienced, but also the franchisability of where it's going in regard to being a movie, right, which I think is what most reviews are missing. Everyone will tell you what's good and bad about it, and meh, you get to go see it. We dig a whole lot deeper inside the perspective reviews, which is why I think Paris is so eager to see them. Paris continues, this part of the Sam Raimi trilogy is one of my... the first part of the Sam Raimi trilogy is one of my favorite films, eclipsed only by Spider-Man 2. David?
Yeah, I agree. That's definitely the pinnacle of the Spider-Man franchise was definitely episode 2.
Yeah, there were a few parts. In fact, there was a 2.1. Did you see this?
I didn't see that, actually.
I caught it on, I think it was on FX, but it's Spider-Man 2.1, and it's actually got 8 minutes of footage restored back into it. That doesn't mean that they've taken the film that you saw and then, added on 8-minute ending. Or, Doc Ock gets 10 arms instead of 8. And So that's not what it is, but it's little pieces of fights reinterspersed and longer scenes inside of here and there inside the movie. And I think it's really valuable in that it adds to the storytelling flavor. You get to see something different that I don't think it was the director's cut, but it's definitely something different. And there's all kinds of little pieces where, I don't remember that particular piece. And I do like that. It feels like something that you didn't get originally. Paris continues, I can remember seeing the trailers for this movie in 6th grade and being so incredibly pumped. 6th grade.
I know.
That's disturbing.
That's
disturbing.
It makes us feel old.
Though I was never an avid comic reader growing up, I absolutely loved the 90s cartoon and was introduced to the series through that. Now, I know nothing about the 90s cartoon.
I remember that.
Do you?
I remember, yeah.
Okay.
I was, a college guy when it was going on, so there was an awful lot of...
Was that Spider Blood? Spider Blood?
No, not that one.
Not that one.
No.
Which one is that one?
It's, they tried to cram an awful lot of what was going on in the Spider-Man comic continuum from the late 80s and early 90s.
What the hell am I remembering then?
I don't know. What are you remembering?
Well, you guys are going to have to tell us. Spider Blood, radioactive Spider Blood. You don't remember that?
No,
what the hell was that then?
I don't know what you're talking about, Mike.
Okay, great. Moving on. I thought that Tobey Maguire captured the awkward nerdiness of Peter Parker and the amazing web-slinging smartmouth hero that is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great push, and I look forward to seeing what the amazing Spider-Man is going to offer inside of that realm too.
Right.
Paris finishes out with, I guess the tech wasn't there at the time to really make the pieces of the cartoon work.
Fair enough.
I can buy that.
Yeah,
I think we were just on the cusp of really jumping with both feet into special effects. So I can see that. I'm really interested to see where this reboot takes the Amazing Spider-Man. Until next time, Paris in Mobile. Paris, thanks for contacting the Two Guys Talking podcast about your reminiscing of Spider-Man. And remember, you can look at all and listen to all of our perspective reviews over at twoguystalking.com/Spider-Man. Click all of them and listen to them instantly. Speaking of listening instantly, our first piece of news input, specifically from the Fangbanger podcast, is referring directly to the website outfit that you'll see when you go to fangbangerpodcast.com. When you go to fangbangerpodcast.com, what you'll now see is the most recent episode featured on top with the Sookie Stackhouse with the earphones over and the lead leading into her neck. That's the most recent episode. Underneath that, you're going to see the most recent episode of this, the True Blood Transfusion. And underneath that, you're going to see the next most recent episode download links and instant listen links where you can click one button and it will just start playing for you. You don't have to download the podcast. It will instantly stream directly through your speakers or your cell phones. So it'll work either way for you. The other feature that we've also put back into the website is originally we had just one True Blood Transfusion that was showcased inside of that listing so that you wouldn't accidentally click on that thinking that that was the podcast for that respective episode.
Because the podcast is, if you're on our website, directly below where we are. No, directly above us.
Just above us, right.
And on YouTube, it's in the notes below us.
Right. So now what you're going to have is you're going to have the link to download, you're going to have the instant listen buttons, but then you're also going to have each and every episode of the True Blood Transfusion available at the Fangbanger podcast website. So what we're hoping is going to happen there is you're going to watch more of the episodes. We'll have a higher download count on each of the episodes, but then you'll have one-stop shopping to go for all Two Guys Talking Fangbanger podcast feedback right there inside of fangbangerpodcast.com. So go check that out now at fangbangerpodcast.com and you'll see exactly what we're talking about. Our next piece of fan feedback comes from Lisa in Houston. Houston writes, great review last week, guys. I felt so bad for Pam in this episode and even some for Sookie. Is it just me or is Salome totally suspect?
Oh, I completely agree. And I think that this episode, episode 5, brings even more of that in because we see when Sookie is breaking through the glamour, definitely it is a female and she's wearing an authority necklace, but it could be either of the females that we've seen at the authority, either Nora or Salome. And so we'll see. We'll see where that goes. We'll see who are the traitors amongst us.
Sure.
Soon enough, I'm sure.
Or it could be a fan that's made the necklace. Hey, who knows?
Yeah.
They're making the silhouette that they show look like Nora, but I know it's not. I think that Salome has something to do with the digging up of Russell. I know you guys hated the fairies, but I'm hoping for something different. Sounded like Romeo thought they were a lot different this week. Thanks for the great podcast and keep them up. Lisa in Houston. Lisa, thanks so much for your reasonably positive feedback about the show.
I'm amazed.
We love getting that. And I mean, how does it become negative when you've got the director of the episode on, Director Romeo Tirone, who we love having on the program.
Thanks a lot again, Romeo, for coming on.
Again, if you have not listened to that episode, the review of episode 4, what's the name of the episode? I've forgotten the name of the episode.
Last week's episode was...
that episode, right.
Until we meet again.
We'll meet again.
We'll meet again.
Go back and listen to our review of We'll Meet Again, episode 4 of season 5 of True Blood, to listen to director Romeo Tirone regale about some great behind-the-scenes stuff in regard to True Blood. Last 2 pieces of fan feedback. We have Kurt in Rochester. What's up, fellow fangbangers? I see them saying True Blood. I see them seving. Oh, I see them saying True Blood on the show. Oh, I see them serving True Blood on the show. Where can we get it? Can you get some for me for free? No. As much as you guys think that we're tied into everything else, we don't get free anything, actually.
No free anything.
Nothing at all. But you can go and get, I think there are 6 and 24 packs available of True Blood via the HBO store, which we'll link up via our... we'll put it on our Facebook presence. So go to facebook.com/Fangbanger Podcast, and you'll be able to go and click and buy your heart's content. Not for free, sorry. Don't have a coupon or...
No freebies from us.
No freebies. No Groupon.
But if you go to twoguystalking.com/gauntlet, fill out the necessary 5 steps to win the possibility of $100, you can take your $100 that you could possibly win through the gauntlet and buy $100 worth of True Blood.
Look at him figuring it out.
Yeah.
And now you guys know. So get on over there. twoguystalking.com/gauntlet. Get it done. Kurt, thanks so much for... Kurt finishes up. I'm still waiting for the bottom to drop out of this season. Peace! And I'm going to be the Doubting Mustafa as usual. I think I join you. We've had a whole lot of positive, and I want it to stay at least as good as it has been for the rest of the season. Will the bottom drop out? We'll see what happens.
I don't know. We'll see. I'm thinking that with the slow start, it was sort of that early, just barely leaving the ground launch of a rocket into space, and it's just going to pick up trajectory and speed as it moves further out of the atmosphere.
All right, I will buy that. Our last piece of feedback comes from iTunes. Reba Sue Johnson writes via iTunes, these 2 guys give a great review of a great show. You get 2 different points of view, and that's what makes it a good listen. I'll continue to watch and listen. Reba Sue Johnson.
Well, thank you very much.
And remember, we want you guys that are listening to us via iTunes, which is the vast majority of you, to go to iTunes and tell us what you think, not only of the show, but of what's going on inside of our reviews of True Blood. You can do all that right now via iTunes. You can also do it and get in the running for $100 cash over at twoguystalking.com/gauntlet. Until next time, for the True Blood Transfusion, I'm Mike Wilkerson, one of your hosts.
And I'm David Crete, the other host.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.